And we're back for another lesson. Today we're going to multiply and divide by the power of 10. Alright, first we're going to start by counting by tens. Let's count from 10 to 100. Here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Let's count backwards. 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 0. Let's do the same thing with 100. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. Count backwards. 1,000, 900, 800, 700, 600, 500, 400, 300, 200, 100, 0. Okay, you could do the same with 1,000. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, and so on. Now, one thing we notice, how many zeros are in 10? 1 0. How many zeros are in 100? 2 zeros. And how many zeros are in 1,000? 3 zeros. Sure, if we wanted to put it out here and we wanted to add 4 zeros, we'd have 10,000. All right, and so forth. All right, now we're going to multiply and divide by the power of tens. All right, tens, hundreds, thousands. All right, when we multiply a number, it gets bigger. When we multiply, bigger. All right? So if we multiply and we get bigger, what happens when we divide? When we divide, we get smaller. So when we divide, we get smaller. When we multiply, we get larger. We divide, we get smaller. All right? So if I said we are going to divide, which way are we going? Small. If I say we're going to multiply, which way are we going? Big. All right? Multiply, big. Multiply, big. Divide, small. All right. So here's the idea. All right? Say you have, let's start with the multiply. All right? Let's start with multiply. Bigger. If you have 30 and you multiply by 10. All right? Well, what is 30 times 1? 30 times 1 is 30. But then you have this 0. Right? So if you would have done 30 times 10, you'd have a 0 and your 0, 0, 3, whoops, 0, 3, 0, 0, 3, and you get 300. But we can know if we're going to multiply by 10, tens have 1 0. We will add 1 0 to our answer. All right? So 45 times 10. Well, there's my 0, and then 1 times 45 is 45, so 450. Now, to do the same thing, what if I had 22, and I want to multiply it by 100? Okay, I could do 100 times 22, and I would get 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 2, and I would get 2,200. Or, what's 22 times 1? How many zeros is in 100? 2,200. All right, this is a very, multiplying and dividing by 10 is a very fast way of getting your work done. Okay, so we have, let's do 36. Let's actually do 367 times 100. What do you think my answer is going to be? Well, what's 367 times 1? 367. How many zeros is in 100? And there's your answer. All right, again, you would come up with this answer by, you would go 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 7, 6, 3. And you would get the same answer. All right, so just like by tens and by hundreds, think about it as 1,000. How many zeros does 1,000 have? Just 3 zeros. All right, so 75 times 1,000. Well, what's 75 times 1? 75. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, 638 times 1,000. Again, multiplying, we're getting bigger. All right, so 638 times 1, 638. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3. Now, multiplying, we get bigger. So let's look at division. Oh, first off, what if we had a decimal? Okay, let's do that. Okay, let's do 4.5 times 10. Well, we're getting bigger, so we're going to take the decimal and move it one place. All right, what if we had 4.5 times 100? We would go 2 places. And what if we had 4.5 times 1,000? Move it 3 places to the right. 1, 2, 3. Notice I went from 4.5 to 45. 4.5 times 100, I went to 450. 4.5 times 1,000, I went to 4,500. So again, multiplying gets bigger. So if we have a decimal, we go to the right. All right, so now let's go to division. So we said divide equals smaller. All right, so let's start out with 80 divided by 10. All right, so we're going to get smaller. We're going to move the decimal one place, and we're going to end up with 8. All right, 453 divided by 10. Smaller, we're moving the decimal one place. Remember, 453 is a whole number, so I automatically know my decimal was right over here by the 3. Now, okay, what if we have 110 divided by 10? What do we get? Well, we know that 10 times 10 is 100, but again, I'm moving my decimal one place. 11. All right. I had a visitor come. I'll have to talk to him in a minute. All right. What if we, again, let's say we want to divide by 100 this time. So 450 divided by 100. 1, 2. 4.5. Okay, what if you had 600 divided by 100? Well, you say, well, that's just 6. Well, you're right. But look what we still do. There. That way we know we're right. We're 6. It's a 6. All right, what if you had 890 and you want to divide it by 100? 1, 2. 8.9. Notice how the numbers got smaller. All right, let's try 900 divided by 100. You're right. 9. Now let's divide by 1,000. And that's right, we're going to move it. We're going to get smaller by 3 decimal places. So if I have 31,000 and I divide by 1,000, what are you going to have? 31. 1, 2, 3. Divide smaller to the left. All right. What if you have 4,000 divided by 1,000? Right. 1, 2, 3 gives you an answer of 4. What if you have 6, 7, 5, 4 and divide it by 1,000? Well, 3 decimal places. 1, 2, 3. you will end up with 6.754. All right. What if you have 10,000 divided by 1,000? You would end up with 10. All right. Again, tens have 1 zeros, 100s have 2 zeros, 1,000s have 3 zeros. If you went to 10,000, you'd have 4 zeros, and so on. Again, multiply big, divide small. I'll see you next time. Click that bell and like and share and subscribe.